From the beginning, we were wrong. And only now, well into the second decade of the conflict, have we begun to understand the mistakes we have made. We lived in harmony among the Fae, in a world awakened to new magic. Perhaps we should have foreseen what might be born on this rising tide. What force might awaken. A force powerful enough to twist even the eternal and immutable Fae folk. But Gadflow, the new king of the Winter Court, surprised us all. Singular among his people, he was all that other Fae were not. Aggressive, ambitious, visionary. He had power like none we had ever seen, terrible and deadly. Gadflow and his followers, the Tuatha Deon, believed that a new god was to be born in the east, beneath Gadflow's crystalline fortress of Amathen. In the name of that god, they marched to war against the young races of Amular. Against a mortal army, no matter the power of their god, we might have been victorious. But the Fae are creatures of magic, not bound by the laws of life and death. Each Tuatha fallen on the battlefield would soon rise again, for the Fae do not know death as we do. How could we stand against such a force? For 10 years the war raged. For 10 years the armies of Men and Alpha fought and died. But as our numbers dwindled, we knew that it was only a matter of time. Our fate had been written. At least, that is what we believed. Until you died.
People misunderstand Kingdoms of Amular Re-Reckoning because the game tells you its thesis statement in the opening cutscene right here. And you literally have it where fate is slipping from your hands. And you are no longer controlled by fate.
What do you think this one is then? Alpha? Goran? Could even be a Jotun. Always a surprise, eh, Goran?
Eyes on the job, boy. Don't matter what it is. Dead's dead. And be thankful for that. All we've seen. Go on and pull back the sheet, though. It'll need to be in our report, one way or the other. Blimey. Must have been a mercenary, come to fight in the war. I could have told him how he'd end up. Not in bad shape, though, all things considered. All right, then. Make sure it goes into the report. You know he'll want all the details.
Amazing how well the body held up. Better than I've seen.
I'm just glad it's not moving. Must have been born under a lucky star, this one.
Anything else we need?
Unless you'd like to name him, I think we're done. Put him with the others.
Well, that's it for you then. Better luck next time.
So Kingdoms of Amular Re-Reckoning is misunderstood for many reasons, and the story seems shallow, and it kind of is, because this is not a story-based RPG game. It's not a conventional RPG game. We are dead. We break fate. Even this, we're not in our original body. The weird sci-fi fantasy machine recreated our body. So, players are meant to make their own story, their own fantasy, and we'll see that. And if you remember from the prologue, the Tuatha are from the winter court of the Fae, and then there's the summer court, so this seems like a political, seasonal thing.
You! Up there, please help me! Please!
More mortal scum? No matter. You'll all die. The dust shall escape.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. If you hadn't come along, Wait. I've seen you before. On the slab. You were dead. It worked. By the tome, it worked. You're alive. No, clearly not anymore, but you were. The Well of Souls remade your body. We thought you were another failure. What? The well restored your soul to your body, and it worked. We must get you to Professor Hughes right away. He'll have questions for you. Oh my, you don't know? Oh, perhaps the process damaged your memory. They are the Tuatha Deon, the enemies of all the young races. We've never seen them this far inland, not even during the invasion. I don't know why they are here. Hughes may have the answer to that as well. You must stay alive and reach him. Oh, no doubt. But we must get to Hughes. He'll be in his study on the ground floor. The Tuatha are coming in through the lower levels. If we hurry, we should be able to beat them to the top. Take these. They'll help keep you safe long enough to get to Hughes. Now, let's get going. Oh, my. You don't know? Perhaps the process damaged your memory. They are the Tuatha Deon, the enemy of all the young races. We've never seen them this far inland. Not even during the invasion. I don't know why they're here. I wish I could tell you more. You showed no signs of life when we removed your new body from the well's waters. We just put it in the furnace room with the others. We would have never done that if we knew.
We're unknown backstory.
Just ahead, you'll see. And it works. It restored you to life. There will be plenty of time to explain later. We've got to get going. He'll be in his study on the ground floor of the tower. At least, I hope he's there. And safe. Let me get this door. And we can be on our way. Imagine an end to war. An end to death.
So if you remember correctly, the Tuatha, the people blowing up the Well of Souls, are a part of the Winter Court of the Fae, the immortal people, and are trying to get rid of all the young races. If the young races can make it where they can come back to life, such as we are, then that breaks the pseudo-feudal court system the Fae have. Kind of like winter is coming, almost. So those who have played video games before, yes, Kingdoms of Amular Re-Reckoning is almost 10 years after Skyrim. And yes, the stealth eye is very much a Skyrim influence. I'll have to see where that came from. But Kingdoms of Amular Re-Reckoning, since you are fateless, you're not controlled by fate. The tutorial allows you to pick out random stuff. You're not good at everything, but you're not bad at anything either. You are experimenting, taking a taste of what the game has to offer you before it shows you it's not a conventional RPG.
You're not one of them. Ansel, yet alive. And who's this? That's what I intend to find out. He came out of the well. What? Then he'd better get inside to see the old man. Quick, before those Tuatha make another push. This is where we part ways. But take whatever you want from this armory. We might have a few things that would fit you. Just make sure you get to Hughes. We can hold off the Tuatha here.
While the gnomes are making their last stand, they weren't expecting us a successful experiment.
We can't risk you getting killed. You're proof that the well can work. Don't you realize what that means? Just keep going past the top of the well. Hughes will be there in his study. I'll see you on the outside.
So, we are fateless, and they are unsure because we are fateless, so they are faithless, and they don't have faith in us or the Well of Souls. So back to hearing the souls of the damned, because the Well of Souls is apparently still working, and it looks like a radium to me. But this log shows they were getting close to a success, such as we, but they have been failed. It shows we shouldn't exist, yet we are existing as fateless.
You've made it, and look at you. Even with all you've been through. The Tuatha, your return from the dead. Please forgive me. You must be terribly confused by all of this. I am Fomerus Hughes, and this is my laboratory at Alistar. Everything you see here is dedicated to one thing, the Well of Souls, the pursuit of immortality. And you're my first success. If we only had the time, there's so much we might learn from one another. You don't know. They're called the Tuatha. They were once Fey folk of the Winter Court, but they've been twisted by their Lord Gadflow. But how could they have found us out here? We're miles away from the front lines. The war has never touched Dalantarth. And why attack the well? The Fey are complicated. I could write 10 volumes on the effects of immortality on their pseudo-feudal court system alone. I am Fomerus Hughes, Scholar of Vivification Prime Circle. We're standing above my life's work, the Well of Souls. There's so much to learn about you, though. I imagine it's all a bit muddled. A side effect of the prismere? Shape of the basin? No. If only we had more time. I wish I could tell you more, but your death is a mystery to me as well. It seems that your memory died with your body. You see, the well is designed to capture the soul of someone recently deceased, recreating their physical form within its waters. Simple, really. Your rebirth is the first we might truly call a success. There have been others, but the results weren't quite right. The Tuatha are a radical splinter of the Fae. Insane, bloodthirsty, and immortal. Even when they die, their essence returns home to be reborn later. They hate mortals like you and me, and want us wiped off the face of Amular. I can only imagine how much they hate the idea of mortals being reborn. It's been my life's work. Decades of research with a singular goal, ending death itself. And now, you're the only proof that it's a success. But why did it work on you and no one else? What makes you different from the others? There are so many questions to ask, and if we're to get any answers, we've got to get you someplace safe. Too much to explain right now. The Tuatha have come to stop my work, but I don't believe they know about you. Not yet. What's important is getting you out of here safely. You're the only proof of what we've achieved here. I may not be able to save the well, but I can ensure that its only success is safe. We're in the Feylands, miles away from the front lines. I thought we were safe enough from the war, but it seems some of the Tuatha found their way here anyway. Yes, you're right. I've got my notes, but it's most important that you stay safe. It's just that you're... Wait, where are you going?
Fascinating. Simply astounding. I'm not certain what's caused it, but somehow...
Yes, as I was saying, I'm not sure what... Perhaps I should go see.
Sir! Mr. Hughes! The Tuatha have reached the lab! They're inside the lab!
No! We've got to get you out of here now! Quickly! Follow the path to the town of Gohart. Find Agath. He's a friend, and he may be able to help. No matter what else, stay alive!
This is where a lot of people get confused and misunderstand Kingdoms of Amular. The story is very subtle, but it's kind of like the guy at a bar that's in the corner. He's just drinking water. He pours you a glass of water. It's up to you to realize if that glass of water is wine or not. And that is because you are that god that the Tuatha are trying to make sure it doesn't happen. A rock in symbolism, and particularly in literature, means everlasting. Kind of like carving your name in a rock, it would be there forever. The end of the tutorial, or the end of the Well of Souls before we get to leave, we have to face a rock troll. And by defeating the rock, it proves we are yet again not bound to fate. We write our own fate. And by defeating a rock, even the rocks can't hold our name because we do not have the fate to do so. To put a fate to. Because if we have no name, then there is no rock. And by the way, this is like a really cool animation thing. I think it's really cool. I'm not really sure what it is. Possibly something with fate. But we just defeated a rock troll. We made it where fate is no longer bound to rocks. And we are released onto the world. No one knows of us yet. We are not chosen. We don't have some sort of superpower that the game tells us, because the people don't know. The gnomes here believe the Well of Souls is a failed experiment.
Thank Matharu, another survivor. Are there any more? I suppose that's a little bit of kindness from fate. May those still trapped inside rest peacefully. This was supposed to be a nice isolated grove. So much for that. Morris Hughes was one of the greatest minds of our generation. The Well of Souls was a dream that was almost too good to come true. Who knows why the Tuatha hate mortals? Who knows why the Fae do half the things they do? The well was a beautiful dream, an end to death, a cure to tragedy. It would have made war pointless. It could have saved the world. We should have known it was too good to exist. Now our friends have paid the price. Stay safe. We'll be moving soon.
Another survivor? But I've never seen you in the tower. Were you one of the professor's assistants in the downstairs projects? Did he escape with you? Not without the well, we can't. This is the only one, and the Tuatha were tearing it apart. Hughes is the only one who understands how it worked. Alistar is remote enough that we don't get a lot of visitors. And with our research, fewer visitors means fewer questions. Oh, you mean Agarth? He visits Hughes every once in a while. I never could figure out why they got along. He's friendly enough, if a bit odd. You should be able to find him in Gohart, just down the road, past the ruins. You can't miss it. We all knew Fomerus was a genius, but I'll admit, even I had my doubts about him being able to bring the dead back to life. Guess the Tuatha weren't very pleased that it worked. I just don't understand the Tuatha. I mean, most Fae aren't violent. The wild ones can be, but no more than any forest animal. But the Tuatha are some sort of cult among the Winter Fae. Before they invaded Erethel, no one could have imagined the Fae ever marching to war. Brilliant idea, the Well of Souls. Plucks dead people out of the ether, rebuilds their body, and brings them back to life. At least that's what it was supposed to do. Guess we'll never know if it worked now. We should be safe here.
Told them we needed more guns. I saw you fighting there. We could have used more of you. Did they really have a troll? I don't know how the Tuatha found us, but if they had a troll, it couldn't have been an accident. Fate was kind to collapse that doorway behind you, or they would have chased us into the glade. We started building here when they found Prismere in the mines nearby. Never thought we'd see Tuatha this far out west, though. Fate weavers? Ah, charlatans. You swears by them. But I'll be damned if I trust my future to some cards. Hugh's ran off, you say? I wouldn't worry too much. The old man's tougher than he looks, and he's always got a plan. They're technically a type of wild fae, related to the fae of the summer and winter courts, actually. Dangerous enough in the wild. The Tuatha also use them in their army. I never did trust fae to begin with. Well, those Tuatha are the worst sort. They waged some sort of holy war against humans and Alpha for years now. But the front's all the way out east. What are they doing out here? How did they know about this place? The well was incredible, but it took armloads of Prismere crystals to keep the thing active. That's why we built it so close to the Stone Candle mines. They even put in a few tunnels to deliver the crystals directly into the well. I told them it wasn't safe. Looks like I was right. Again.
Okay, so the gnomes here don't know if it worked, except Rumi, who said it worked, and then immediately 2 lines later said we never knew if it will work or not. So let's just say they don't know, because it might have been a slip up. If they don't know us to be it, and like the fact that Tuatha are here in the east, because there is a god that is supposed to come from the east, and we are from the god because we are fateless and we break fate, etc. And that's where a lot of people misunderstand the Well of Souls. Yes, the story is shallow. Yes, the storytelling and writing had a major slip up that doesn't make sense. But Kingdoms of Amular Re-Reckoning is a non-conventional medieval power fantasy RPG / systems breakdown sandbox game. And we'll see that later when we start, getting some systems.
You! I remember you. You're the one? How did you come back? How did you find me here? When I saw you with Ensel in the well, I ran. But it wasn't because I was afraid. I was coming to report that Hughes's experiment had succeeded. The Well of Souls is bigger than just one gnome's pet project. My contact pays well for information about its progress. I just send reports to make some money on the side. But I don't know how the Tuatha found out. This has nothing to do with them. I never wanted anyone to get hurt. I promise you, if I knew who it was, I'd tell you. Sharing research is one thing, but academic sabotage is a crime. Thank you, thank you. Here, take this. It's the pay for my last report. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm going back home to Odessa.
Gohart seemed to have like a existential shock of seeing us alive. But that just seemed too fishy to me.
You've come from the tower, haven't you? Name's Agarth. Maybe you can help an old Fate Weaver, eh? Fate Weavers look at the great tapestry of fate. The threads will tell us how a life will unfold. But knowing the future and being able to change it are two very different things. Did he? Poor old Fomerus Hughes. He respected the way the world works. What a shame. He's probably dead by now. The cards told me that the Well of Souls would work, but Hughes's success would come on the day of his death. He took it pretty well, honestly, although we did a lot of drinking after that. You really don't know much, do you? A Fate Weaver taps into the threads of fate and channels that energy through a focus. My order prefers cards. The cards are unique to each Fate Weaver, since we all see the weave differently. You're the one. Then that means it all makes sense now. The cards this morning. I drew the Gravedigger, the Running Man, and the Beast. Prepare yourself. They're coming.
So Argoth is pretty much a real-life psychic. And that would explain why the gnomes outside of Alistar were like, oh, he's a bit odd, but like, he's kind of alright. I mean, yeah. I mean, in real life, unless if you know, believe rocks and crystals help, okay, then most people will be like, okay, a psychic is a waste of money. Well, I'm guessing in this universe, a Fate Weaver is a waste of money. At the same time, I don't think you would want to know when you would die, possibly.
What? How? What are you? The threads of fate. I've seen them before, but I've never seen anyone manipulate them like that. You just changed how the world was supposed to work. How did you do that? You just... Fate is the will of the gods. No mortal should be able to change it. How is that even possible? Come here. I'm going to do a reading. You might be able to change the threads, but fate will still have a plan for you. I promise not to tell you if I see your death. It's a gift. Some people paint landscapes, other people write poetry. I peer into the weave of fate's tapestry and see people's deaths. That would be my guess. He was an academic, but he had a proper respect for fate's plan, unlike most gnomes. You're nervous. Relax. This is what Fate Weavers do. I'll be seeing your place in the pattern of destiny. Who you are, what you've done, where your path takes you. Or, at least, I should be. You're real, right? I swear I haven't had that much. Fate's weave is always hard to see. It's in motion, hard to make out, but undeniably there. Yours is just... missing. This doesn't make sense. All mortal creatures have a place in the pattern.
You should have one too, dead or not. If this is true, and I'm not saying I believe it, then your path is yours to determine.
So these cards are bonuses to like different traditional conventional classes, but you're able to switch these cards at will without consequence. Hence at the system breakdown sandbox. And we're going with Acolyte.
I can see the threads around you, but they're shifting, changing so rapidly, I can't make sense of them. Normally the threads would guide my hand to the cards, and I'd use those cards to see your pattern in the weave. But it just didn't happen. They wouldn't focus. So either there's something wrong with me, and there isn't, or there's something very wrong with you. It could mean nothing, or it could mean everything. The world is changing. You might be a sign of that, or maybe the cause. I've never had a reason to doubt my own readings, but we should consult with Arden. He's not a friend, but he's got a good eye for the tapestry. I'll meet you at his home to the east. I'm going to see if I can be of any help to the wounded at the tower. Once I was Agarth the Unyielding, the Blade of Avgrum. I wrestled the Colossus Priestess and declined knighthood by the High King of the Fae. I was a hero of men, but that wasn't enough for me. I joined the Fate Weavers, hoping to find a way to conquer destiny itself. Turns out fate is the one thing I couldn't fight. You can find Arden's little cottage in the middle of Joven. Had to move there when he got run out of town. He's a damned good Fate Weaver, but that doesn't make you very popular. Especially not in dark days like these. We are all threads in the tapestry of fate. Measured, woven, and cut according to a great plan. Fate Weavers undertake the task of reading those threads. Our title always was a bitter lie, since we have no control over how that tapestry is woven. But you do. And when a Fate Weaver looks at your place in the weave, we see only the shapes of what you may choose to become. The Fate Weavers were once a great, unified order of sages from all the mortal races. We foretold the destinies of kings and gods. But that power takes a toll. Nobody likes bad news. And all the news in the world is getting worse. The order splintered long ago. Now the old traditions are all but lost. And all I foretell is the fate of my beer. And I see it being empty. Soon. Hughes was always an odd one. Curious and determined as any of his kind, sure. He never shut up about his work. But he always knew what was important. He didn't worry about dying as long as he knew he'd get the well working. The Tuatha aren't like any Fae I've ever known. They're cruel, bloodthirsty, and savage. Why, they're practically human. That's just it. I don't know if you've got one, but that's why we're going to see Arden. He lives in a little hut to the east in Yulven. I'll meet you there.
The game literally told us that we can like switch, like fate shift between classes without consequence. And that this game, you don't want to min-max one particular thing, you want to min-max a hybrid build. And also the game tells you that immortality without growth is stagnation. Meaning, like, it is telling you don't stagnate to one particular hybrid, like one particular build, and go with a hybrid build. It is showing you can break the system down.
In halls of lore,
none more grand than Olain's many feats of might, the pure and lady of the light. She is a knight of golden knot. She is the cure seeker, the conscience of the summer fae. She is the heart of spring, of day.
I'm hoping you are seeing that Kingdoms of Amular is a systems breakdown sandbox medieval power fantasy non-conventional RPG.
Back to your business. Go on.
Oh, I miss her so much.
Keep moving. This business doesn't concern you. Unless you're an expert scholar on the Fae, I'd suggest you move along. No reason to be out in the open with the Red Legion about. What are they? I'm not sure, but they've been here for longer than any of us can imagine. They're older than the trees. They have to be. They grew them. Humans and immortals cannot live together in peace, at least not forever. The peace we have with the Summer Court is unnatural. That's my opinion. You might call it a Fae nation, one of two united factions that rule their kind. The Summer Court are not exactly allies, but they do let us be, most of the time. It's the other Fae, the Winter Court, that has spawned the dreaded Tuatha, a vicious clan of killers who wish to defeat and enslave all mortals. Are you playing a trick on me? I would hope so. We're going on 10 years of the mortals and the Tuatha locked in a deadly embrace. Normally, I'd decry the bloodshed, but this is a conflict that we cannot afford to lose. Bandits, but no ordinary bandits. Surely you've heard of Red the Dead Idward. They say he drinks the blood of his captives, that he consumes their souls. Or perhaps those are just rumors. You should be fine if you stay inside the village. Once you go beyond the boundaries of Gohart, however, your life is in your hands. I'd never seen one of them until a day or so ago. It appears that a small group of warriors ventured inland to strike behind our lines. Believe the stories, friend. The Tuatha are mad. They have been touched by a dark magic. They are wholly corrupted, and they are the enemy. I don't know if you noticed, but St. Odwig's mission closed its gate moments before that Fae's body turned up on the road. I don't like what that suggests. Not at all. The Brothers of St. Odwig's are an odd sort, scurrying back and forth across the mission like squirrels gathering nuts. I wonder what goes on behind those closed doors.
I don't care what you race. It's a tragedy whenever anyone's savage like this. Just look at the poor creature. She's been beaten to the brink of death. The Fae may be strange, but they certainly don't deserve this. Peaceful Fae make up the tribe known as the Court of Summer. They are led by a king in a faraway city, hidden from mortal eyes. That's about all I know. Little more than rumors and stories from my youth. Our fate rests in the hands of a few chosen who fight in the east. You wouldn't even know it in Gohart. We're miles away from the smoke and the screams. I've spent most of my life dealing with them, but they aren't like us. Not at the core. They don't know what it means to be a man who sweats to feed his family. Gohart has become a sort of refuge for those settlers who wish to live a life free of Fae. I don't see that lasting. Not with the war. Not with everything changing. We keep a precarious peace with the Court of Summer, one that's tested every day. I lie awake at night worrying what kind of disaster awaits me in the morning. But we're a good community full of good people. We have our eccentrics, sure, but we work hard and live quietly. That's the best anyone can do these days. I'm the Warden of Gohart, and a poor one at that.
Well, I've been back from the war for only 6 months and been warden for less than 2. Now here I am with an injured Fae on my doorstep. I'm a disgrace. I've seen many bandit clans in the Crystal War and back home, but these men are a particular breed. They like their victims weak and bloody. The Red Legion has been a presence in the area for several weeks now. Our people are scared to show their faces after dark. I don't know what the Tuatha would be doing this far from the front lines. It must be something vital to their interests. They're a wicked breed, though, and I pity the man who meets up with them in these darkened forests. It appears she was attacked with some manner of short blade, likely a dagger, although there's no way I can be sure. People simply stood by as she called for help. No one lifted a finger. Can you imagine? It's shameful to treat another in such a way, even if she is a Fae. I don't know whether we possess the knowledge to treat such a wound. Frankly, I don't even know if I could save a mortal with such grievous wounds. It's difficult to say. We've been plagued by the Red Legion for days, but it's not their way to go after the Fae in the area. They like their targets mortal. In case you haven't heard, there have been some Tuatha sighting in the woods to the west, so that's also a possibility. It's unlikely, though. Well, you're the only one. With all the troubles we've suffered in this village, people are weary of adversity. They'd rather just ignore it. I'm going to suggest something a bit untraditional. There's a Fae named Eri. She spends her days up on the hill overlooking the village. Seek her wisdom. I would do it, but I am a coward. That's the truth. Perhaps a Fae will know how to heal a Fae. If not, then we're back where we started. She spends her days in the precipice overlooking the village. She doesn't think we're aware of her presence, but we most certainly are. Bye now.
Okay, so at first I thought this was like a handout because this is like some pretty decent loot compared to what was in the Well of Souls. But no, this is not a handout. This is a blueprint because the game wants you to craft, not pick up loot. It is not the conventional RPG where you pick up loot. The loot you find is salvaged to make better loot, to break the system. It's quite ingenious despite deceiving. If you enjoyed this video essay of episode 1, Kingdoms of Amular, Re-Reckoning, please like and subscribe. I will be making more of these Kingdoms of Amular video essays. So, this is Cognitive XP, signing